Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kakadash. The Lord and to the elders and apostles of great mercy and rule well. Salutation to the Yaki and preaching the truth to the four corners of the earth in sincerity. The brother Yaka here from Trinidad Camp. Commentate on another lesson, Lord, and be edifying to the Spirit. Right, and as the title read, walk worthy of the vocation wherein you've been called. And another precept would say, it would say the profession. Right, so let me get into it one time. There's the book of Ephesians 4:1. It says, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you, because the Apostle Paul considered himself a prisoner of hope, prisoner of the Lord, because you see, that is how much commitment he had. You understand? He felt like there was nothing else for him to do. You understand? Being in a prison, all there is for you to do is to do what is in the prison. Keeping your eyes single, doing the things that are required of you to do in the prison. You know, get up, eat, bathe, back in the cell. So he said he was a prisoner of the Lord. He considered himself a prisoner of the Lord. All he could have do is the Lord. He didn't want to have no wife. You understand? He didn't want to do anything but the word and preach and, you know, edify. Right? Walking in the Spirit constantly. So it says, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you, that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherein ye have been called. So what is the vocation? Right? The vocation is basically like a job where you've been called, and we're going to do with the etymology of the word. Because I actually searched the word earlier. Right, this is the vocation in the online etymology. And it says, vocation, spiritual calling. The first meaning, so yapa, spiritual calling. Walk worthy of the spiritual calling. Because the scripture also said that many are called, but few are chosen. So why is few chosen? Because few was deemed worthy. Right? And how you get deemed worthy? You seek out the things that you're supposed to do and you apply to yourself. Right? Let me get some more here. It says, summons urging to a specific activity. Right? That's summons we get. Right? Consecration, calling, profession, or directly from Latin, vocation, vocationem, nominative. You know, you've been nominated. Is it people for the Grammys? You've been nominated for an award. And what is the award? Ooh, this yapa. Now I get into it. Right? Oh, let me get this here. Right, first let me get the 2 Peter. Right, this is the book of 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 10. And then I'll get to show what is the reward, right? The 2 Peter 1 and 10, it says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. Right? And so, firstly, we deal with the calling, the nominating. You've been nominated for an award. Sometimes when you get nominated for an award, they are the Grammys. It's not everybody wins the Grammy. It's one wins the Grammy. You understand? But in this case, and in our case, the Lord is choosing 144,000 who is going to win. Right? 144,000 who has to win the Grammy, and you know the women and children that make up the rest. Right? The elect lady and you know so on and so forth. But the thing about it is, it says to make your calling and the election sure. How you gonna make sure you win that Grammy? You're gonna you put out the best song, the best album, whatever the case may be. Just like the scriptures say, and it's not about the best, but it's about doing your best. Right? Being the best that you could be out of yourself. Being the best brother, being the best of what the Lord requires from you. You know, you give your best. And you must know if you're giving your best. Just like it says in this precept Baruch, I believe it's 4 and 28. Right? Where it says, let's see if I get it. Baruch 4:28. Right. Here it says here. It says, for as it was your mind. This is the book of Baruch 4:28. For as it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. Now this 10 times more is your best. Not only that, you're seeking him harder, and because you know what you did. Just like the Apostle Paul, right? That's another story for another time, but you know he was in the world, and you know he was wicked and doing wicked stuff, and you come back to your power, you want to serve him hard because you know that you was going off, and you don't want to ever be in that position again. But now there's a reward. That's why it says you're called in an election for you to be elected as a member of the elect, or elected for salvation, because the scripture mentioned that it mentioned that many are called, few are chosen, right? And to make your election sure that you are chosen, you want to do your best. So you're seeking him 10 times more, which should be your best effort to do videos, your best effort to treat brothers with brotherly love, your best effort to do whatever is required of you. You understand? And not ignore it. Because the scripture says, for suddenly in your safety, what precept is that? Right, I believe that's the book of Sirach. Sirach chapter 5 and 7. Right, here it says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. So don't put, you see, certain times these rebuke hit me, because I tend to, slack in certain areas, and I have to pull up on myself. Even with these videos, every one of these videos is a correction to myself and an edification to myself firstly before it is to anybody else. Because before it posted, I had a hate. I have to say it on my mouth. You understand? So it's something you that you can correct yourself, examine yourself. Where it says, make no tarrying to turn from the Lord, and put not off from day to day. Certain things, you do it every day. You're not praying. If you pray, you should pray every day. You should pray before you leave your house. Secure yourself, because the Lord is the one keeping you safe, right? And we know that the world evil. So, put them not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security, going back to what I was saying, in your security, thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So you don't want to get caught up in the day of vengeance, because in the day of vengeance is upon all, and the Lord going to judge you according to your works, according to the thing that you've done. You understand? You're going to be judged. So as we see the day of vengeance approaching, what the scripture say? Scripture say, I have no need that I write unto you. Don't get that. It's the book of 1 Thessalonians 5 and 1. And read, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. You have no need that I write unto you, for all of us know that the Lord is coming like a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So nobody's going to escape the wrath that is about to come besides the elect. Because the scripture even mentioned Jacob's trouble is coming. But what he said, the Lord said, but he shall be saved out of it. Reverencing Jacob. Yes, Jacob's trouble is coming, but Jacob is going to be saved out of it. So you don't think you want to be on the Lord's right hand side? You don't think you want to be on the side that's going to be saved, that's going to be defended? I believe it's Daniel the 12th chapter. Let me see. Daniel 12 and 1. Here it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So you don't think you want to be written in the book or defended by Michael? It said Michael, the great prince, the archangel, coming to defend the children of Israel. Right? And we want to be in the Lord's good graces and be defended by the Lord. So we have to walk worthy of the vocation. Right? And I went into the word vocation, I'm supposed to go into profession. Let me get that. Alright, there's the book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and 23. I'd read, let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promise. So just like the Lord promised destruction and death and mourning, famine, these things coming, and we seeing it, right? Just like he promised that, is the same way he promised salvation for the elect to defend us. You understand? It's the same way he promised that. So I want to go into the word profession, because we went into vocation. Walk worthy of the vocation, basically a job, you know, what the Lord called you to do. Now we're going to deal with profession. In the online etymology, here the word profession goes into vows taken upon entering a religious order. You understand? The profession, it says, let me see what it says again. It says, hold fast the profession of your faith without wavering. Right? I'm going to get some more. Public declaration. Alright. Occupation. One professes to be skilled in. Because what is we skilled in? It said to be skilled in a calling. What are we skilled in? We skilled in the word of the Lord. That's what we skilled in. We skilled in preaching the word, using our sword, you know. That's what we skilled in. So we ought to hold fast. Basically endure. Endure the thing that you're skilled in. Endure the occupation that you was in. You understand? Endure it. Let me see if I get some more here. And it even go back to the word profess, because it's profession, right? Profess to take a vow. Now, the thing about it is, to profess is what we're doing on the highways and byways. We preaching the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and we saying certain things that we want to be a part of the elect. We want to get taken up in the chariots. We want this and we want that. But again, it's all up to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And they know who's the elect. And the elect would be doing what we doing. And they would be preaching. And they would be exalting, rebuking, doing the things that the Lord requires from them. So we're not going to say we are the elect, because that is prideful. We would boast in Yahweh Shem Yahushai as our salvation and say we are the hopeful elect. Hopefully we are the elect. You understand? And we hoping to make it into the kingdom. We hoping that we are part of that number. So we professing it and we holding it until the very end. You understand? The scripture say we believe, therefore we have preached. Let me get that. Alright, there's the book of 2 Corinthians 4 and 13. And it says, we having the same spirit of faith according as it is written, right? All of us having our same spirit, believing we are the hopeful elect, right? I believe and therefore I have spoken. We also believe and therefore speak, right? Because the thing about it is, we believe that this word that we're preaching is true. We believe that name Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Yahweh in the name of his son Yahushai, we believe that they are the true names. Because the scripture also say, there is no other name where under heaven wherein thou shalt be saved. The Sirach prologue says that the Hebrew is the tongue. So we know the Hebrew, going back to the name, with great research, that name is the true name. You understand? And we believe in it, therefore we speak. So we believe when we now come in, then as a year pass, we still believe. Third year, we believe still. And we continue and we believe. And we continue in, the scripture say, do nothing without faith. Then there's Hebrews 11, where it says Hebrews 11 and 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, right? Hoped. We hope to be part of the elect. We hope that we make it. The substance of things hoped for. You understand? Let me see if I get it here. The substance of things hoped for. The evidence of things not seen. Right? Because we can't see it. We don't see that we have salvation. We don't see that we make it. But we hoping that we make it. We hoping to be a part of that number. Right? That's what it is. Alright. And I could go down into this, but it's not what you're looking for. Right, verse 6 is what I'm looking for. Hebrews 11 and verse 6. It's here where it says, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So firstly, you can't please the Lord without this faith. And what is faith? Faith is the evidence of things hoped for. So we hoping that we're part of the elect. We're doing the necessary work, which will require us to be that a part of the number. It will require us to be worthy of the calling, worthy of the election, right? And we have enough faith. So it pleases him. It is impossible to please the Lord without faith. For he that cometh must believe that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. We must believe that the Lord is going to reward us as well. We must believe in them bodies, right? We must believe in the chariots coming. We must believe. And when we believe and we get a reward, we're going to feel good. We're going to manifest our boldness, as it says in what is that? That is Wisdom of Solomon 12 or 17. Yes, 17 I believe. Right, it says, for when men will not believe that thou art of a full power, thou shewest thy strength. Now this in itself yappa, because it says there are a lot of men not believe that the Lord is of a full power. You understand? They believe the Lord, the devil fight to the Lord and he fall from heaven and bullshit. That is not full power. Because full power means that the Lord could kill anything, trample anything. And that is what he is. Right? It says, thou showest thy strength, and among them that know it. You hear what it says? Among them that know it. There are some men that know the Lord is of a full power. That is us. We know it. It says, thou makest their boldness manifest. It makes us more bold. We more bold, seeing that people don't believe, and we believe, and we see the prophecies happening. These prophecies taking place make us more bold, manifest our boldness. When the Lord show his strength on them, kill them, send flood, famine, destruction, earthquakes, war. Because these things been prophesied. So it make us feel good. Right? And something came to my head. That I just said, among them that know it, right? Because the scripture also said, right, it's Romans chapter 3 and verses 3. And it says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? Because you don't believe, is that going to make the prophecies not come to pass? Is that going to make the earthquakes don't happen? Is that going to make Esau not bring the RFID microchip? Is that going to stop the famine, the wars, the chariots from coming? Hell no. You don't believe in it? That is all well and fine, because the scripture also says they marvel when they see the chariots come. They said, we fools. You understand? They're going to say, we fools. Because they didn't believe, and now the chariot really was real. You understand? How Shai burst the cloud, and they realized, oh wow, we fucked up. And what he's saying is, and in that moment they knew they fucked up. Do you understand? They knew it. So yeah, we need to make our calling sure because we believe. Not because they don't believe, right? So Lord willing, this lesson that I find through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem Kakadash, that will honor to the elders and apostles of great Nelson and rule well. Salutation to the Aki and preaching the truth to the four corners of the earth in sincerity. Shalom, shalom, shalom.